Good day, everybody. Welcome to the Ammunation. I'm still chewing something. Sorry, folks. How you doing tonight, Mr. Twin? Good day.
Good day, good evening. Living the dream, man. How are you?
I'm all right. I had a week off. Went to Newfoundland. Had a great time. We can talk about that a little bit because I don't think we've talked about it, have we?
No,
Last time we
no,
did
I,
was before I went, right?
no. Just when you came back, like the evening you came back, we messaged a little, and I fell right to sleep. And I'm just, you know me. I go incommunicado most of the week.
Yeah.
So,
No, but what I mean is we haven't done a live stream since before I went away.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But that's okay. We can talk about beautiful Newfoundland. And we talk about everything else that's going on in the world. Folks, welcome to the Ammunation. If you're there, make a comment. We like to read the comments. We like to interact with our audience. It says we got a few people watching, so good to see. Um, anyway, so what's new? What's happened the last couple of weeks for you?
Oh, same old, same old. The world is crumbling. LA is burning. Israel's launching strikes on Iran. Nothing,
Right.
nothing major. Just the
No.
same stuff. Nothing ever happens.
Yeah, exactly. It's I'm getting bored with all this normalcy.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm drinking. I finally got some more of my Believe supplements, folks. If you're into protein powders and stuff and supplements and eating good shit, Believe supplements are Canadian-based companies. They're located in Quebec. BelieveSupplements.ca. If you go there and you order some protein powders, whatever, and use the coupon code HC, you'll save an additional 15% at the checkout. That's a perpetual discount code that only I have access to, but I'm sharing it with you, all my viewers. It stands for, "Hey, Craig." No, it doesn't. It's not my code. It's my trainer's code. He gave it to me. He said share it, so I'm sharing it, and you can use it anytime. Save 15%. I got the orange creamsicle protein powder back.
You love that flavor.
So good, man. Like with like 300 milliliters of water and 200 milliliters of orange juice, and then 2 scoops of the powder. It's like drinking an orange Julius. It's so good.
Hmm. I just put egg whites in milk and add a little cocoa. Not even for flavor, just for the
Just
flavanols I've been hearing
yeah, yeah,
about.
yeah. Cocoa. Everybody's talking about cocoa and how the flavanols are all good for you and stuff. Speaking of which, why don't we move right on? Do you even lift, bro? How's your gym visits? I'm not going to call it a fitness journey anymore because you say I'm not on a journey. I just lift weights. How are
Yeah,
your
it's like
gym visits going lately?
yeah, like I mean, it's actually pretty well. Last week, I went to my brother-in-law's gym, right?
Right.
Like they have a gym in their condo,
Yeah.
and no one uses it. Like so few people actually use it. It's great. Like we have
It's
the
so
gym to
fascinating. I don't
ourselves.
understand it.
Yeah,
It's a
it's
beautiful gym. Like it's better. Like because you have a membership at the Purple Place, right?
I do.
But you like to use this place better because it's better than the Purple Place.
Literally, yeah. They have better equipment in the condo gym, and there's no one there, so we can like use it what we want. Six, what's up?
Hey, Six, good to see you. Yeah,
And
I love Orange Julius too. They're not around anymore though. I think you can get them at Dairy Queen, but that's about it. Um, yeah, that's great. I've been going to this Iron 24 in Oakville. It's a good gym, but it's in Oakville. And the only reason I go there is because that's where my trainer works out of. But I think I'm gonna like next week's gonna be the last set of training sessions for a while because I just can't justify it. I can't afford it. I've been lifting dumbbells and sticking to it. Good for you, Six.
good
That's
man.
that's good. Yeah, it's what, and you can do so much with just dumbbells. It's
Oh
it's
yeah.
crazy. If you get a decent set of dumbbells or some, I've been looking at those ones that are adjustable, like they have a bunch of plates on them,
Oh
and
yeah.
then you like you flip a switch, and you can add more plates to the dumbbell or less or whatever. I've been thinking about getting some of those for just being able to work out at home when I want, but yeah, no dumbbells. My inclined chest dumbbell chest press is my go-to chest exercise. Well, on the left though, I did not use it. I did not do it this week. This week I was just like, you know what, I'm going to stick to some isolation machines. That area of the gym's very busy. I'm just going to stay away from it today. So I was on machines my last upper body workout day.
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking of which, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say we did back because back and bicep is my favorite day, right?
Yeah.
And so my brother-in-law was like, "Oh yeah, I've been going to the gym a lot," and it's like, "Yeah, great, let's do it." And we're there, and he's like, "Okay, so how many sets? 5. What 5? Why 5? Because to do more reps, like we're gonna
What the
crush
volume?
back and bicep day, right? Like
What
yeah."
the volume? Yeah.
And he was like, towards the end of the workout, he's like, "Man, when I work out with you, I feel so much more pumped." I'm like, "Why don't you work out this hard on your own? Like, what are you doing?"
There is an element of having someone there to
That's
motivate
true.
you. That's part of the reason why having a trainer is so good, because the trainer is going to, one, he's there to spot you, and two, he's going to correct your form. He's going to encourage you to keep going. I will say, when I'm finished with Chevy, though, I think I might try doing the Mike Metzner approach, the one set to failure, but it's going to be preceded by 4 warm-up sets where I'm gradually increasing the weight until I get to my working weight, right?
Okay, sure.
Yeah,
That's
you think that's stupid.
no, I think that's how I do it, but you're just
But
calling it some weird Mike Menser thing with one
Mike
set to
Metzner,
face. Like, no.
Mike Metzner's whole thing was 1 working set to failure.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, he also lost one major competition and then did drugs until he died. So I don't know how right he was about these things, right?
20-pound weight vest, even just for walking, is it can make all the difference. You'd
Oh yeah.
be amazed by how many extra calories you're burning. Now, your problem is your Fitbit or your fitness tracker isn't going to track the calorie burn. It might track a slightly elevated heart rate because you're putting more work on yourself, but yeah, you will feel it yourself. You'll feel how much you're actually expending energy. Also, while walking is great, neat is better. Non-exercise activity thermogenesis or whatever it is. All the shit you do, like when you're gesticulating, like you Italians have got it good because all you fucking talk with your hands and shit. So if you gesticulate a lot, even just tapping your fingers, all that little shit you do, getting up and washing the dishes, like not being lazy does a lot to burn calories. Just
Yeah.
doing the shit around the house that you need to get done does a ton to burn calories. So, and there's a side benefit that your house is nice and neat. So, anyway. 20-pound weight vest. Yeah, my buddy was wearing a weight vest. He showed up to my house one time last summer because they used to go, him and my other friend would go out for walks, and then they pop by my house and say, "Hey, you want to join us on our walk?" And I would join him. He shows up in a tactical vest. I'm like, "What, you want to go and do some airsoft?" He's like, "No, buddy, I don't want to do airsoft." I'm like, "You're wearing a tactical vest." He's like, "Yeah, it's my weighted vest. I have weight plates in it." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." He was wearing them constantly.
Yeah.
They definitely do help. Yeah.
Oh
Doing
yeah.
doing pull-ups and chin-ups and stuff like
I
that
was
with a
gonna
weight.
say just try doing some push-ups with that extra 20-pound vest on, right?
Right. Right. I like diamond push-ups personally. They're my fave because I think I've said this, I really feel a chest activation with diamond push-ups.
Mm.
But anyway. So, folks, it's Saturday the 14th. Yesterday was Friday the 13th. And Israel decided they're gonna go all hog wild and just launch a strike on Iran. So why don't we get into that? We'll talk about. Hold on, I've got some media assets that I want to work on. Pardon me.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
You know what that's from?
No, but that's great.
Dr. Strangelove.
You
George
can't.
George C. Scott and some other dude are like fucking physically altercation in the middle of the war room. And a guy calls up, "Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room." Yeah. Anyway, World War III, baby. Oy vey. It's another Showa. We're gonna have a big old kerfuffle in the Middle East with Israel launching attacks at Iran and Iran counterattacking, and of course the United States is there helping Israel protect themselves. So apparently they're shooting down Iran's forces, but like that are attacking Israel, but they're not going in and attacking Iran specifically. That's Israel's doing all that, of course, with weapons made by the United States, because Iran is this close. They're this close to having a nuclear weapon.
They've been this close
to having a nuclear weapon for 30 odd years. Actually, I saw a screen cap of an article from the Jerusalem Times shortly after Israel was even formed, saying that Iran is close to having a nuclear weapon. Before like when they were still sort of a secular nation, and the Ayatollahs weren't even in power, because they didn't come into power until like the 70s, right?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't become like a religious extremist, dictatorship until the 70s. So, but yeah, apparently even back in the 1950s, there was a Jerusalem Times article that's saying Iran's just a few years away from having a nuclear weapon. They were warning about it back then. Makes you wonder.
Watch Israel nukes Iran.
I could see it happening. And they'll do it under like something. Apparently, some stuff got through the Iron Dome in Israel.
Well, yeah, it's for rockets. It's not going to be super effective against long-range missiles, right?
No. But the long-range missiles from Iran are conventional in nature, right? They don't have any nukes in them, so
no, but they're still
they're still big, still do damage for sure. Yeah. So yeah, that's something that happened, and I'm like, oh man, World War III, really?
But is it World War III?
But it's going to get there. That's the problem. It's going to get there because Iran is allied with both China and Russia. Okay. Israel is allied with the United States. And while Russia's not in a position where they can actually get involved in a Middle Eastern conflict right now. They're still busy fucking around with Ukraine still. And I don't think anybody wants to get to that level. But it could get to that level. It could easily get to that level. It could easily escalate.
The path exists, yeah.
Yeah, and people are shitting on Trump, saying, "Oh, you were supposed to be the peacetime president." And I made a video about this today. I'm like, yeah, I was kind of hoping that he would get into power, and like he said, he was going to bring an end to the war in Ukraine very quickly, bring an end to the conflict in Gaza very quickly, and it didn't happen. And now I'm looking at his foreign policy. I'm like, okay, so basically, Trump's sort of position, at least his public position, is this is your shit. I don't want to get involved. Like, yeah, you're our ally, but we're not putting our fucking troops in there. No, we're not. I'm not going to come out to the podium and make a very somber speech about how we must do this. We must send troops to a new fucking foreign adventure, like Obama did, like fucking Bush did, like Clinton did, like they all did. The past fucking presidents did, right? He's just saying, look, fuck. Handle it yourself. And I mean, now he's made public posts about, hey, you know what? We tried to warn you, Iran. You had 60 days to make a fucking deal and you couldn't do it. And I warned you, like they're armed to the teeth with our shit, and it's good shit. So you better make a deal. But anyway, well. So I don't know what to expect. Fact of the matter is, I think more and more of this warfare is going to happen at the hands of video game players. They're going to be sitting in a fucking bunker somewhere, or some mobile command unit, playing with Xbox controllers and fighting wars.
So I should join up, and I'd be the best drone pilot there is.
You'd probably be really good at it, yeah. But so like, the horror of the war is when the bombs land, right? But the whole boots on the ground thing, it's kind of a thing of the past. So,
well, no, look, okay. If you just want to wipe something out, yeah. But if you want to control a population or even liberate a population without boots on the ground, you're not going to do it, right?
You can do it from within if you can stage a coup like the CIA is fond of doing. And the fact of the matter is, I think the people of Iran will be very happy if, like, because Ayatollah Khomeini, it's not Khomeini anymore. It's
something also, basically
Ayatollah something or other. I think it's like cinnamon bun or something. It doesn't matter, but Ayatollah whoever, he's now in their crosshairs, right? And I think the people of Iran would be quite happy if the Ayatollah were taken out.
From what I hear, yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
they're not fucking happy with the regime. And like every other like dictatorship, it turns into a place where, you know, the people who are in the ruling elite, they end up making out like fucking kings. They're the ones who have the, you know, the nice cars, the nice homes, you know, the 24-hour armed security. They're the ones who live high off the hog, and everybody else suffers. Plus, they're repressed because of religious fundamentalism. So yeah, I think they'd be quite happy to get rid of the Ayatollah. And I mean, I don't want to be one known for defending the Jews, but like when you got a nation like Iran who said they've been wanting to erase a whole bunch of people died in East San Antonio from floodwater from the storm the other night, dropped an entire month of rain in 4 hours. Yeah, there's lots of crazy natural disaster shit going on too. I hear Mount Etna just went up again. But yeah, Iran's been talking about wiping Israel off the map and calling the United States the Great Satan for, you know, decades, right?
Oh yeah.
So is it surprising at all that when Israel, you know, feels like, okay, October 7th gave us the justification to do whatever the fuck we want, because it's clear that, you know, genocide is still on the minds of too many people in the world and we need to put a stop to it. For whatever October 7th was, I know there's lots of opinions about it. Like it was like Israel's Pearl Harbor, like they kind of knew it was going to happen and they just let it happen to give themselves an excuse to do what they want to do.
I've heard that.
But yeah, I mean, I don't blame them in that respect. Plus, I just don't like Islam. Plain and simple. I don't like Islam. I'm not a big fan of Judaism either, but Mark Dice made a good point today. Israel's not a Jewish state. It's a secular state. It just happens to be filled with Jews. And most Jews in the world are actually atheists. They're not religious. There are religious, you know, there are, what do you call it? Orthodox Jews living in Israel, but the majority of them are atheist. The majority of them are not, you know, religious Jews. They're ethnic Jews. So, yeah. You mentioned a point about apparently there was a law. They're trying to pass a law to make it illegal for Christians to talk about Christianity in Israel, like to promote Christianity. Saying
Yeah, I
that
believe it.
it's offensive to, you know, the Jewish majority. So, like, okay, like the fact that someone says, "Oh, you know, Christ is king," like apparently that's a real fucking insult to them. They do not like the term "Christ is king" in Israel.
Well, you know, some groups actually feel pain when the name of Christ is invoked.
Oy vey, it's another Shoah. Yeah, lots of crazy shit going on in the world. We got the No Kings protest today on Trump's birthday and the 250th anniversary of the army.
That's right.
That's some smooth herb you're smoking there. You all right there, buddy? He's got a cough. He's having a coughing fit. That's why I do edibles.
I'm good.
I know you are. You're better than good. Let's speaking of which, let's get off this WW3 because, you know, it's
Oh, that's so disgusting. Oh my God, that's the worst thing I ever heard in my life.
the World War III is the extent of the Jews news. You know, BB going crazy. Did you like the AI generated image I made for tonight's thumbnail?
Oh, was it AI?
Yeah, that was AI. It was BB riding a missile. No, let's move on. Let's talk about there's riots
plenty of
going on
weird shit
everywhere.
to talk about tonight.
What's that?
There's plenty of weird shit to talk about.
There sure is.
Like, have you noticed this? Every time that like one of us is away and we miss a week or two, like everything happens then. and we're trying to catch up on the next show when we finally get back at it.
Yeah,
It's terrible.
it really is. We're gonna
Where's
watch
this?
a little bit of the riots there in I guess this is L.A. This is AP feed. I'm gonna unmute it. You guys can hear that, yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Is this LA?
I think so.
They finally mobilized police. I know there was a few places
Yeah,
that did not
I
fuck
think that's
around.
LA.
Like Chicago didn't fuck around. New York was actually tougher than LA, even though they were pretty gentle.
Yeah.
But I mean, every time a Florida sheriff opens his mouth, Florida ends up on my list. Like, I could move to Florida.
M4 Sherman's on parade. Classic sexy lines. Yeah, I didn't watch much of the parade. I just heard about it. I know Trump got a cake that was shaped like the White House. I assume this is LA. I could be wrong. This might be one of the other cities, but it says what is it? It's called No King's Protest. Yeah. No King's Protest, yeah, against Trump in Los Angeles, yeah.
Okay. Oh, this is live right now.
Yeah, this is live. This is AP's recording this live.
Wow. Okay.
Good times, folks. I don't know why
Well, it's hard
AP
to
shooting up,
say what's going to happen,
shooting up
right?
at the people upstairs watching. Where's the journalistic interest in that? You know what's funny? Did you catch any of the footage of the daytime No Kings protest?
No.
It's all old people, man. It's all boomers.
Ha!
It's all boomers, men and women home trying. He lied to you. You're like, oh, come on. Fuck. But I mean, that's the quintessential liberal voter now. It's the white educated boomer whose 401k is going to be impacted by these tariffs, and so they're really angry about Trump.
Yeah, I mean, the first few days were pretty heavy. There was a lot more firebombing and
Yeah.
general violence. But if Trump sending in the troops actually got the mayor of LA off her ass to actually mobilize the police properly, then it worked, right? Like,
Yep.
and,
Why is there still volume after I've muted it?
I don't hear it. And just
like
some of the things I'm hearing the mayor say, like, oh, it was Trump's response that escalated this. And it's like, are you kidding me? It started with people attacking ICE.
Yeah.
Like that, it all started.
ICE came in and exacerbated the people's, anger. And people saying, oh, they were just they're going to Home Depot and pulling people off the street. And I'm like, no, they were serving actual criminal arrest warrants. They're going after people who were, actual criminals charged, not just, criminals because they were in the country illegally, but criminals who were like murderers, rape, gang members, drug traffickers, that kind of stuff.
So here's something cool. This Home Depot thing has gotten around because they had said they had gone to a business and were arresting people. So people assumed the business was Home Depot because they're racist. But the thing is, the business they targeted wasn't because illegals work there. It was because the business is a money laundering front for cartels. And the people associated with it are all cartel people.
I didn't see a dog there, Six, maybe. And then we got another comment from T-Sips. Hello, T-Sips. Welcome to the channel. I'm not familiar with you. No kings. Yeah, the protesters look like a bunch of queens. It's true. A lot of them were like, outfitted in the rainbow flag, the Pride program.
It is Pride Month,
No, actually, it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Thank you very much.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, there's a fitness guy, big huge jack guy who's been doing a number of YouTube shorts about it. I guess he lost his father wasn't around when he was a kid, and his mental health has been an issue. So he's been doing a bunch of shorts in support of Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. Yeah, I had to close that tab, folks, because the audio, even though I muted it, was still going for some reason. So I'm gonna
Needs more crispy jellyfish.
what?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. Crispy jellyfish. Let's see what I can find live.
Yeah, I mean, they're rioting on behalf of cartels.
Yes.
The
You're
Mexican
the
president,
youthful idiot, right?
the Mexican president who's actually Jewish,
Yeah.
was saying, "Yeah, no, we got to support our people on that side of the border." Oh yeah, this is like, you know,
Well,
what
and
what the
that's the
fuck
other
you
thing.
talking about? You can't even control our own fucking country. Half the
Oh, I
places
know.
under
It's crazy.
cartel ownership, right? Like, what the fuck is she
But
talking
and,
about?
and like a lot of the people protesting, they're carrying the Mexican flag and saying "Viva Mexico." I'm like, well, okay, but if you love Mexico so much, what are you doing here illegally? Now,
Well, they're
I
claiming
understand
that
the
it is
reasoning behind it.
Mexico.
There are many who say no, LA, was part of Mexico. This part of was part of Mexico, yeah, for like 20 years, and then it got taken back by America.
Purchased, actually.
Yeah.
That was not like a war. They bought it.
Yeah. No, the idea, if you want to look at this from a 30,000-foot view, the idea that has taken hold throughout the world, really, but mainly in Western civilization, is that all of the borders should mean nothing, and that people should be free to go wherever the fuck they want. We shouldn't be thinking in terms of nationalism. Everything should be a post-national global community. And you don't reside in a country. You don't have a core culture. Your core culture is being a consumer. And so you are going to be a member of a consumer economic zone. As we move to more automated life, where AI and robots are doing more and more of everything, we're all going to be just a bunch of useless eaters as far as the globalists are concerned. And so our only purpose and our only culture is to consume. Like in the movie WALL-E, we're just going to sit on our fat asses and drink milkshakes and be carted around by robots. That's the plan. That's what they have in mind for us. So the idea of nations gets in the way of that. The idea of a culture gets in the way of that. The culture needs to be consumerist culture and corporatist culture. And so they don't care about, these divisions like the borders, right? T Sip says, why do have to get the we have a boogaloo at home, Boogs? No, we're not going out to Boogaloo. We got Boogaloo at home.
The Boogaloo at home.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on in Canada. Are we seeing any riots in Canada? I know there's a lot of pride shit going on right now.
I haven't heard, but if we
get a
do,
Boogaloo, but it's the gay retard Boogaloo. It wasn't a dog. It was just a kid. It was an ugly kid that it looks like a dog.
Oh, that Florida sheriff. Did you hear his remarks?
Yeah, you'll get shot. It will kill you. If you throw anything at a cop, they're going to kill you. So don't throw anything at cops. Don't try and fucking throw a brick at a cop. Don't throw flaming bottles at cops. They'll shoot you dead. They're not none of this rubber bullets crap. If you're trying to kill a cop, you're going to die.
Yes, sir. Like, and that keeps Florida on my list. Like,
I know, right?
6, I love Texas, and I want to live there. But if Florida sheriffs keep it up, I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
But you know what? Here's the thing. Like, you ever watch Zeducation? Tyler Zed?
No.
He's a YouTuber. He does basically you laugh, you lose meme reviews kind of thing.
Okay.
And it's from a conservative standpoint, because a lot of the memes that get sent his way are like of liberals being idiots. But he was talking about how, like, he lives in Minnesota. And in Minnesota, it's like Minneapolis, St. Paul. It's full of progressive weirdo idiots.
Hmm.
But you step outside of Minnesota, Seattle, Minneapolis, St. Paul, into the rural Minnesota. Everybody's red. Everybody's a Trump supporter. And if you look at the election map,
Hey, wait, we've got movement.
that's the exact way it was. Oh yeah, they're moving up. I can unmute it. See what's
I
going
saw
on.
a couple people in a trot for a second.
Right lane must turn right. I mean, that's the way to do it. If you're going to watch a riot unfold, do it from your apartment window. Why do you want to get down there and get fucking tear gas and shit?
Well, because they might set your apartment on fire, and if you're way up on the 4th, 5th floor, might be
Florida has
trouble.
some good food too. Yeah, no doubt. I've been to Florida. I like Florida's food. They also have your standard American cuisine, right?
Hmm.
Funny that there was no King's protest set for London today. They changed the name to No Tyrants when they realized how stupid it was.
Eh,
There you go. Yeah, the No King's protest
Wait,
is
our
like,
king is awesome.
what's that?
But our king is awesome, actually.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, our king is a fucking nonce.
Our monarchy is basically half of our identity, so
I'd be very happy if we drop the monarchy altogether, especially with the current regent in power. He's a he's the devil. He's the devil. What was I saying here? Oh yeah,
we were waiting for some action.
we were waiting for some action, but I'm just thinking like all the cities are blue, and everywhere outside the city is red. And that's not just in red states. I mean, even in red states, the cities tend to be blue. Like Texas, Austin is like a liberal fucking basket case compared to the rest of fucking Texas.
Yeah, Austin, Dallas, Houston, right? 6. San Antonio's not so bad. Not as bad anyway.
But I think even Houston is like not quite so crazy as Austin. Austin has turned into like, fucking California with cowboy hats.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other cities might have some liberal problems too. But yeah, if the cops win tonight, then it means Trump is the president. King. Excuse me. Indeed. Hey, I'm all for kings, quite frankly. Remember that scene? You ever see Unforgiven?
Yeah.
Unforgiven. There's a scene in Unforgiven where there's this British bounty hunter who's come to town. He's coming into town. And he's on the train, and he makes a speech about how Abraham Lincoln was shot. He starts talking about why wouldn't you kill a president? It's not like he's a king. It's not like he's deigned by God to be the ruler. He's just a man. Why not shoot the president? He was going on like this, right?
Yeah.
But he kind of has a point. The idea of the president being he's elected from men, by men, of men. You know what I mean? So, but there's something to be said for having a strong-handed regent in place, who can simply decree things and make sure shit gets done. And I said this before. The fact of the matter is, the United States treats their political leaders like their president, and Canada treats its prime minister as though they were a regent anyway. So why just get rid of the pretense and say, yeah, we're going to have a king, and just make it so that the king, there's mechanisms in place to depose the king, to get rid of them. I mean, and I've said this before. Democracy is inherent in all social systems and all governmental systems simply because the people outnumber the rulers. If it comes right down to it, they'll chop their heads off. So you can only rule so far as the people will allow you to rule them.
Anarcho-monarchy, baby.
Anarcho-monarchy, exactly. Austin is the worst. Dallas and Houston are fairly blue. San Antonio is far more red than any of them by comparison. I'm sure, yeah. What's the biggest city, most heavily populated city in Texas? Is it Dallas?
I would guess, yeah, that's where I'd put my money. Dallas. Because it's two cities, right? It's Dallas, Fort Worth growing
Yeah,
together.
yeah. Oh, they got the zip ties out.
Well, yeah, you see, there's
They're gonna be
debris
arrested.
floating around. You heard a couple of pops of rubber bullets,
Yep.
and yeah, they're. See, I need a wider shot of this. I want to see the top down total war strategy of these movements.
Let me see what I
Because
can
when I
find.
saw that group of cops sliding right to left across the screen along the far side of the line, I was like, oh, they're up to something. Here we go.
I'm sure there will be.
They're in blocks back there, man. And these guys, yeah, these are the guys with face shields and batons, yeah.
I want to watch a live stream, but I don't want somebody commenting on it. I just want like a wire, you know what I mean, like a feed.
Well, yeah, that's what we've got here.
Yeah, but I want something a little bit more, like you said, bird's eye kind of thing.
Well, during the trucker convoy, there was a channel running that had like 17 people all feeding the same thing, and somebody had bricked them up
Oh
on
yeah,
the screen. So you have like 17 screens running at once.
right.
Or yeah, all live footage, right? From different angles, different areas. It was really good.
Well, there's this on. Here's Fox 11 Los Angeles.
Sky Fox, Simon Desk. Any chance, please, of texting me the address?
And I think the idea is sun's going down. We're gonna start to see some real shit happening in the dark. So
Oh yeah.
oh,
That guy took one in the eye.
he did. That'll learn you. This has been deemed an unlawful assembly. It's time to disperse. Fuck you, pig! Bang.
Well, like they literally declared themselves foreign agents here to steal the land. Right? That's like forget what are they insurrection? That's literal sedition.
Yep. It's got Tim Pool all bent on shit. He's like, yeah, it should be illegal to make a declaration that you're going to take over this country. I mean, if it's taken seriously, if some idiot on a street corner says, I will become the ruler of the United States, well, he's clearly just a fucking nutfire. But if you got hundreds of thousands of people all waving a foreign nation's flag and some spokesperson with a what do you call it, a megahorn or a megahorn, right? Is that what they call these things? Megahorn?
Yeah. Bullhorn.
Megaphone. Saying, this is our land and we're going to take it by force. Well, okay, then it sounds a little bit more credible, and then it seems like,
also, when they start burning the Waymos, attacking police and passersby and stuff,
oh yeah,
you know, like then yeah, you're literally engaging in it. So yeah, Houston is largest, San Antonio is second largest. I had no idea.
Seventh largest city in the U.S. Oh, well, there you go. I didn't know it was that big. Was that a canister?
You know, I'm not sure.
Is
that how they have to fire foam rounds from
Maybe.
canisters? Like they have to be to get the foam round to move that quickly. That it's got to be so loaded with
gas. They would use gas.
And then it's spent, and they just discharge them to the floor.
Yeah, they'd be better off using those CO2 canisters, like not one in each round, but have it like chambered, like kind of like an airsoft gun. But maybe you need greater velocity, greater joules to get it that distance.
And I think they do move faster because, like, okay, you get hit with a pellet, that shit stings, right?
Yeah.
It might even break the skin, but getting hit with one of these foam rounds is like getting punched.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm thinking? You know those gel blasters where you put the little beads in water and they expand to like 20 times their size or 10 times their size. Well, they make gel blasters that work just like airsoft guns. So what if you put the gel balls, little balls, into something other than water, like something that, like a chemical that would cause it to itch? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying bleach, but something akin to bleach, like
Yeah, you
some
soak it
powerful
in pepper spray.
Yeah, or like fucking put them in hot sauce. Let them absorb the hot sauce, and then just shoot them with the hot sauce gel balls. It might not work. It might need it to be. It might need to be like water. But could you imagine if you had water with some ghost pepper casein, or what? Not casein, capsaicin,
Yeah.
like in it, so that the water became this like pepper water, and
Yeah.
then you made the gel balls out of that because they explode on impact. Right? And if you hit
Nice.
somebody, but they're not going to hurt you. It's like it doesn't even sting like an airsoft BB. But if they exploded on impact and it had a pepper type of concoction in it, or some sort of like cleaning agent that was really, really foul smelling and itchy, yeah, I think that might help disperse the people more than just, the odd foam round that hits somebody in the chest or hits somebody in the back. And plus, you can
Well,
go full auto. You can go full auto and just fucking sweep the entire street.
no, I mean they seem to be doing okay here. Like they're moving up steadily.
You know what? I think you know what it comes down to. I think I'm just a big fan of Judge Dredd, and part of me's kind of like, you know what? As much as ACAB, part of me just sometimes wants cops to say, "Fuck it, you're done." But only when they're doing it in the right. You know what I mean? Not just all the time, but only in certain situations.
No, look, when people started frowning on sheriffs and police talking like those Florida sheriffs,
Yeah, yeah,
then cops had to do it clandestinely, and that's when it got bad. Right?
yeah.
But when
I
they could
know.
openly be the police and be like, if you do this, we will kill you. Like,
Yeah.
that's it. Then they didn't have to hide anything.
They look at it like any other criminal situation, right? If they were going to arrest somebody at the side of the road, and that guy pulled out a gun or that guy pulled out a knife, that guy's going to get shot. And it's not going to be a matter of, they're going to try and use less than lethal means. They're saying, fuck it, we don't want our cops dying, and we're not going to risk their lives because some asshole decided he was going to take on the cops. Yeah, I know Great Ajax about the pepper balls, and there's a company called Byrna that makes like a semi-automatic pistol that shoots pepper balls. But the problem is, I think those are kind of tricky to make, right? You got to use the really high intense pepper. But if you were to, if anybody could just take those, what do you call it? Those gel balls, because you can buy them at the goddamn dollar store at this point or Walmart, and you could put them into a bucket of water and have in that water, one thousandth of the water is capsaicin, like pure capsaicin. Then those gel balls eventually actually just become pepper balls, and they're cheaper. So that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the pepper balls they have are kind of nifty. Yeah, and they work like paintballs, but like paintballs, they don't always explode on impact. Like if they hit us a thick coat, they might not break open. If they hit something hard, they will. But yeah. Anyway, we got quite a few viewers tonight. Can you see the viewer count there, Twin?
It doesn't look that impressive to me.
You don't see it. You're looking in YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking in StreamYard. It says we've got quite a few. So
good. It's probably because of the visual.
YouTube, there's only a handful watching, so we might be seeing some viewers coming in from X because I'm posting this on X as well. But I don't think X comments come through. So if you're watching on X and you want to come over to YouTube, my YouTube channel is linked in a post right below, and yeah, or above, one of the two. But anyway,
I'm just glad LA cops are doing something now, right?
Yeah.
Like rather than hiding under the fucking overpass. Like that was fucking sad, guys.
Yeah,
like,
they abandoned their cars.
Throwing Molotovs from the bridge. I'm pretty sure you're justified in firing into the crowd.
Yeah, but they have to hear that from their commanding officer.
That's bullshit. That should be
Well,
like standing. No. That's standing
I
order.
agree. It's
If
bullshit,
someone
but
throws a
that's their mind.
firebomb at you, you
That's
can
what they've
shoot
been
them.
trained to do. That's what they said. No, before you engage with lethal force in a situation like this, you have to get. Probably been told never engage with lethal force, right? So, but I agree. If you're being shot at, if your life is actually threatened, not just an angry mob throwing stones or throwing bottles or whatever, your life is being threatened. Then yeah, you've got a duty to defend yourself.
You got to remember the people that are coming down at this point have like the attention span of dogs and the learning style of dogs. Okay,
Everybody
you
just recording on their fucking phone.
and like they're looking at their phone.
Yeah.
They're not holding the phone up and hoping they get a good shot while they look at it for real. They're looking.
No, they're looking through their phone. I've never understood that. I'm like, you'd rather look through a screen that's like 4 inches wide than look through the window and see, with your full peripheral vision and everything. Anyway.
Oh, T-Sip says science is letting us down. We need funnier anti-riot products. Okay, chat.
Burn a
What would
pepper
be
ball
funnier?
pew is worthless. The CO2 takes too long to load and no guarantee it won't leak if preloaded. My understanding is the whole pre-leaking until the current burn is until you fire the first shot, the COT is not pierced. The COT thing is not pierced. But once you do, then yeah, the COT it has a shelf life. It eventually leaks out. Science is letting us down. We need funnier anti-riot products. Okay, we've got to come up with some. San Antonio could overtake Philly as 6th largest in 5 years. Oh, cool. All right, funny riot gear. How about? I like the idea of dies. You know how they put die packs
Yeah.
in like bags of money when people rob banks, so that the money becomes worthless because it's marked.
Yes.
How about shooting die balls at people who are rioting? Because then you can it can't be like it's indelible, right? So that you'll be able to find them later.
Yes, exactly. But see, I had a different idea. Super soaker.
Full of pee.
No, full of the dye.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
You said I was just fucking a stream, a constant stream. You get the whole crowd, like everybody within 40, 50 feet of you. Oh, and they're all known.
It's like that Indian paint festival, but surprise, it's permanent. Exactly. Yeah, or hey, how about those water cannons that they have on the top of trucks? Put like a big concentration of dye in like a little vessel right above it, so as it's coming out, it's loading that water up with fucking dye, and then everybody gets dyed with it.
And then
Make
you
it
can
like a really obnoxious color too.
No. The standard blue, like the dye, because then you can go round up the Smurfs whenever you're ready.
Well, that's obnoxious. That's plenty obnoxious. Anyway.
Oh,
Speaking of which, I'm going to check on X and see if there's anything I can see here.
Sure. I'm surprised they're not meeting more resistance as of just yet, but I think, the sun hasn't gone down. Fire truck full of lube, says T-Sips. It's not a Diddy party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby oil with methamphetamine in it. Yeah, so X is where we're getting the bulk of our views. Looks like there's about 32 people watching on X.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
No. The funny anti-riot weapon, right?
Yeah.
It's like a tranquilizer dart gun, but it's filled with ayahuasca.
Oh, Jesus.
They just immediately hit the floor and start tripping out for 12 hours.
A clown horn could go off every time a foam round is shot. Like, okay, so the clown horn, like, or the fire truck full of lube. Yeah, there you go. Loudspeakers with AI Donald Trump singing top 40 pop karaoke. Yeah, that'd be good. Or they're eating the dogs, they're eating the cats. Eat the cats, eat the cats. That fucking little ditty. That'd be good.
They're eating the dogs. That was great in that debate,
So
man.
good. I gotta wonder, does he know that like he's gonna say something that he knows it's gonna be meme worthy? Like, do you think he like? I know his ex posts go out there, and he's probably fully aware that some of that shit's gonna get memed. But when he's like speaking publicly and just flying, stream of consciousness type of stuff, some things come out that are just so memeable. Does he know before he says it that it's going to get memed? Do you think, or do you think he doesn't give a shit at this point?
I don't think he thinks about it like that. I think he knows
Yeah,
at some level that he is a meme.
yeah,
And the way he is received that way, and it works. So he might not understand the whole process or the internet culture and
no.
the memes themselves, but
He relies on Baron a lot for
Baron tells me it works. His friends all love it.
He says, "I got to do your podcast, so I'm here doing your podcast. I don't know you." He was talking to Theo Vaughn. He doesn't know who the fuck Theo Vaughn is, but his son said, "Dad, you got to do the Theo Vaughn podcast." So he did. That was a really cool conversation too, because Theo Vaughn spoke to him just like he speaks to any other fucking guest.
Right.
He went off. He did his like little funny little bits in the middle of talking to him, talking about cocaine, and it was so funny. Rogan was the same too. And that's the thing that people don't appreciate. Joe Rogan sits down with the former president of the United States, soon to be president of the United States, and he speaks to him like a guy, just a guy, another guest, just another guest. Whereas when you get guys like on 60 Minutes or 2020 talking to the president, they automatically have this. They set it up in such a way so as to make the scene seem like it has gravitas. And they set the president up in such a way so that he is like, he knows he's gonna. This could either kill him or or buoy him. You know what I mean? Like he could say something wrong and it could fuck with him, or he could say something right and it could really help him. But when Rogan and Theo Vaughn and say Patrick Bet-David, they do their podcast because they're conversational that way. It's just like it's disarming, right? And it's probably much more comfortable for someone like Trump or anybody else because they don't have to put on any pretense. They don't have to worry about how it's going to be taken out of context. So, and I think at some point, guys like Trump, he's just like, I don't give a shit at this point. Take me out of context. People know what I mean. People know who I am, and they voted me in anyway. So you can say whatever the fuck you want about me. It's not going to change the people who support me, and they're never going to change the people who hate me. So I'm not going to try and win them over. There's no point. I mean, he doesn't have to at this point anyway because he can't run again. So
the problem with these foam balls is I'm sure they're not accurate at range like this.
no.
They're trying to hit that punk with the Mexican flag there. These three guys right here.
And how much does one of those rounds cost if they're using compressed gas on every round? I mean, canned air is not that expensive, but still.
These guys are dying to get the order to move the line up.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm surprised they've got their face shield still up. I guess they could see better without the shield up, but
yeah.
And they're not lobbing anything yet. So, have they been lobbing anything nasty to them?
I haven't seen that, but we only have this one small angle right here.
It's true. Stupid AP. Come on, get further back. Get up on a second floor window and shoot down the street that way. I'm surprised that you've heard about the distribution of like more gear to the rioters. That one guy got arrested for giving those what do you call them?
Bionic masks. Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck's a bionic mask? Does it like transform like Iron Man's mask or something? What are they talking about? And I guess it's just like a riot mask kind of thing, right? It's like it protects you from gases and it protects you from impacts and shit like that.
I think it's the brand. The brand is bionic, and the reason everyone was saying it was because that'll tell you roughly how much they cost, and I think they're very expensive, like hundreds of
fair
dollars
enough.
each.
So yeah, that
So
guy got arrested. The guy who's distributing the bionic masks, and I'm like, that's cool that you're distributing the bionic masks. Good on you. But if you're going to spend money, why not get your own brand of smoke grenades? Like you can go to any airsoft store and buy smoke grenades. You can buy flashbang grenades at airsoft stores. They call them Thunder 40s. They're just really loud, basically. They just make big loud noises. But they're usable in airsoft in certain situations in airsoft. You're not supposed to use them in conics boxes or in indoors. You're supposed to use them outdoors. But yeah, they're fucking loud. So you could be using them against the cops. Not that I'm advocating for that. I'm just saying like this stuff is readily available. They're already grabbing fireworks and shooting them off at cops, which is really fucking dangerous. And I'm just hoping for the day that one of these rioters lights up a Roman candle and the thing explodes in his hand. That would.
that happened. My brother-in-law was telling me that he
Oh, really?
saw that.
That's great.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it, but yeah.
No, yeah, blew off his fingers, man. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking fireworks are no joke. That's why they tell you to like dig it into the ground and step 20 feet back at least,
Yep.
But anyway. Okay, so now we're getting a nice picture of the building's corner. Like, are you framing this for a calendar or something, asshole? Take a shot of what's going on. Fucking idiot AP guy. I'm trying to see if I can find another one.
Yeah, I have a few ready to go.
My lives. There's one.
Yeah,
but
like
it's not a guy watching with it, so
I don't think the protesters are retreating. I think they're regrouping. Because I don't know how many cops LA is willing to put out here, right?
Right.
And like I don't know how much kettling they'll actually be able to do. But the architecture, Craig, says 6.
I know. Okay, I've got something here that I think is probably better.
Hey now. Oh,
Here's
look,
here's
he's
a
all
number.
tracking. Middle right. That's our old shot. So he's a couple minutes behind there, but that's okay. This is great. This is a great way to.
I'm gonna go full screen so we can see it better. Yeah, it's got the different cities. We got Philadelphia, Los Angeles. It doesn't name all the other cities, but.
Yeah, but these 2, 3 on the bottom right, middle right, and bottom right. That I'm pretty sure that's all LA, just judging by the lighting.
Oh shit! What am I doing? That's better. Now we're not blocking any of the picture.
It's all the same time of day. This one in the top left too, but it's somewhere else in LA.
Yeah.
This is great. Okay, cool.
All right, I'm happy with this. I want to remove my logo from the screen so you guys can see a little bit better.
Because, I mean, I swear to God, Israel attacked Iran to take the heat off of this shit happening.
Yeah.
You know, like, it feels so much like that. Like, no, there's a bigger story. Because, domestically, people should be paying attention to this, not to the Middle East.
It's true.
This is the bigger deal. This is right here in your backyard, right?
Yep. There we go. So we're actually, you know what? I'm going to put it back because I don't need to be advertising this other channel. Just so you know, if you want to find it, it's the Starship channel, whatever the hell it is. But I'm putting my logo back up so you don't see that. I'm ripping them off.
Costin's in the chat.
Welcome, Costin. Hi, people. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Hey, look, he's around too. It's like all three of us are hosting right now.
I know these things are happening here in the U.S. and there's Middle East stuff, but while we're waiting for this to continue developing and actually get to somewhere, there are some things that we've got to talk about from our side of the border here, right? From north of the wall.
Yes, sir.
Did you hear about the guy in Vaughan? 6 people were trying to steal his Lamborghini.
Okay. Oh yeah, and he's shot in the air.
Yep.
And
And
he's been
he's
arrested.
being charged. Yeah.
Yeah, he's being arrested. All of his guns are going to be. That's standard operating procedure here in Canada. If you pull out your gun in any other situation where it's not prescribed by law that you are allowed to, your guns will be confiscated until they do a full investigation. Now he'll probably get them back, but it's going to be years before he does, and he's going to have to prove that his only offense would be discharging a firearm, unlawful discharge of a firearm, or negligent. He might get negligent discharge of a firearm. That's when you accidentally shoot when you shouldn't. That can happen even at the range, folks. But most times, if it happens at the range, unless somebody's injured, nobody cares. But yeah, that's what he should be charged with, especially if it bears out. If there's like neighbor footage from their ring cams that indeed he fired the gun in the air to scare them away. But yeah, did they catch the guys though? Did they catch the robbers?
I'm not sure, but like it doesn't matter.
No, I agree.
Don't worry, criminals. If a citizen tries to stop you, we'll punish them.
Exactly. There'll be consequences for them.
Yep.
Yeah, no, and speaking of which, and our joke of our justice system, did you hear about these 2 cases? One of which, a judge let a guy off for possession of child pornography because it was, quote, a modest amount of child pornography.
Modest amount of child porn. I've seen much more comprehensive collections of child pornography. This is nothing.
This is nothing. Yeah, it's a 8-year-old, getting violated, but I've seen 4-year-olds get violated, so it's not that bad. What? It's a modest amount.
Just probation. Just
another
probation.
case that blew my mind. There's
128 or something.
Any jail time for some reason. Sorry, what was that?
Oh, there was 120 something people in Canada charged with a child pornography and child prostitution ring.
Uh-huh.
Every single one of them got bail.
What?
Every single one of them is out on the street already.
Absolutely insane. And so I imagine they were part of a dragnet, I'm guessing, yeah?
Yeah, there must have been a huge investigation into this to catch all 120 something people.
So it happened the 120 were caught over a short period of time, like over a week or a weekend or something.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, those cops and the prosecutors must feel absolutely livid to put all that time and energy in to catch legitimate bad guys, the worst of the fucking bad guys, and they let them go. They let them out on bail to disappear, to go and get, disappeared by Arnold Schwarzenegger in a racer. You know what I mean? Like, he didn't kill them, right? He was the guy who took people and hit them away. Did you see a racer?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't the guy who just went in and erased people. I don't think. I think he actually was. He was the guy who pulls up in a van and says, "Okay, get in," and then you find yourself in the middle of Idaho somewhere, working at a fish chip shop. They're called range accidents. Yeah, they're called accidental discharge. In our neck of the woods. I've seen a couple of them happen at the range, but nobody was ever in danger of being hurt. Everything went down range, but yeah. Okay, there, Starship. Get rid of that ad in the bottom feed there.
This riot sucks. I wanted military escalation.
Yeah, really. You know, I want to see. Well, I think the sun goes down. You're going to start seeing shit get on fire. Maybe not. Today is supposed to be the day for the nationwide riots and nationwide protests, is what they called them. But they were supposed to. The expectations they were all supposed to devolve into riots at some point.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh yeah. Let the crowds build a little bit, and as the sun goes down, you unleash the black bloc, right?
Right. Absolutely right. I'm surprised that people in these mass protests, these riots, wearing masks aren't just immediately singled out, because it is against the law to wear a mask for the purposes of committing a crime.
Well, yeah.
So it's and I don't think it's an unreasonable assumption to make that if somebody is in public in a gathering that is, not a violent protest, just a protest, and you're concealing your identity, you're doing it because you have the intent to commit a crime.
Yeah, it's
Unless it's Canada Man, he's just there to protest.
yeah.
Not concealing his identity, he's declaring his identity.
Yeah, yeah. Oy vey, don't check into the early history of the no bail judges.
Oh, really? No shit. I wonder where they came from. I'm going to bet that a bunch of them are Soros appointees. They have their campaigns for the bench funded by the Soros. Speaking of which, did you hear he's been summoned to Congress to speak before Congress?
Really?
Yeah. Will he come? Who knows? He doesn't have to. He's not a citizen, so.
It's a bad look, though.
It really is. But apparently he's stepping back, and his son Alex, Alex Soros, is stepping in. And get this, he's marrying Huma Abedin. Yeah.
Really?
Alex Soros is marrying Huma Abedin.
That's an interesting connection, huh?
Do you think? I don't know. Huma Abedin has long been thought of as being a handler for Hillary Clinton. People say, "Oh, well, they're lovers or something." Maybe they're lovers. I don't know, but I have a feeling that there's a reason why she's been so close to Clinton for as many years as she has.
There's a whole video about it, apparently.
Yeah.
For anyone who doesn't know, yes, Hillary Clinton is on allegedly the Frazzled Rip video.
That's right. Frazzled Rip.
The other person is Huma Abedin. Yeah. Formerly married to Scott Wiener, right?
And Anthony Weiner.
Anthony Weiner, that's the one. Yeah, that's the name I was looking for.
Who wasn't caught sending sex messages to a minor once, but twice. And still has the audacity to get up in front of a camera and talk about the morality of the Republicans.
One of those incidents, in his defense, was just tidy-whitey boner pics.
I will say this. I have seen, the safe for work pics of Anthony Weiner. The guy at that time was in pretty good shape. I'm going to say he was below 20% body fat, so good on him for getting at least in good shape. But you look at his face, man. He's a goddamn caricature. He's a shut it down. He's a happy merchant without the beard. Anyway, speaking, I'm dropping all this anti-Semitic crap, and Pox isn't even here to enjoy it.
I know you didn't even mention my my headline there.
Canadian noticer. Ever notice? See, we're supposed to keep all that shit on your channel. Nobody's supposed to associate my channel with the anti-Semitism.
I can't control what you do, Craig.
I know. Hey, I'm a person of my generation, right? So much of humor growing up was making fun of Jews. Like, they did it all over the media. The Jews themselves made fun of themselves in the media. So, like, the Jewish stereotype was like regular mainstream fucking humor. It wasn't even blackface. Like, it wasn't even like risque. Jews made fun of themselves.
Yeah, there
So
was like 10 seasons of Seinfeld.
yeah, exactly. So when I drop into a Yiddish accent, that's it's coming from a very naturally occurring place. I love the Jews. I got nothing against the Jews.
Well, I could take them or leave them.
I like my own people more.
And my people are pretty cool.
Yeah, but your people are, except for the Ukrainians.
Oh, it wasn't the Ukrainians that caused the trouble there, just saying.
Copper wire joke. That's the best joke ever. And it's so quaint. It's kind of harmless. You know what I mean? Wasn't that joke in you ever see the movie with the Brendan Fraser where he plays a Jew at a prep school? He was called School Ties or something like that.
Oh yeah.
And it's all about how he learned that they're all anti-Semitic. They all hated Jews by listening to them crack jokes one night at one of the dorm rooms, and so he learned to keep quiet about being Jewish. And one of the jokes was, "Hey, how was copper wire? 2 Jews fighting over a penny." I'm like, you hear it if you were in the audience at the theater when that movie aired and you heard the joke, you wouldn't be able to help but stifle a laugh. You might even just chuckle a little bit because it's such a funny joke. And I mean funny in the classic sense of funny. It's just anyway, what am I talking
I'm doing historic theater reenactment, not stereotypes.
Hey, it's another show. I have no son.
Oh, I think in the top right, someone's got a "fuck police" poster.
Oh no, that's profane. We're gonna get demonetized. Look at that. There's like some fat chick in a yellow. Wait, is that a chick or a dude? I can't.
It's hard to tell.
Yeah. There are a lot of sirens. I'm not seeing a lot of action though.
No, but it's growing. As it gets darker, it's growing.
Yeah. I kind of want to zoom in on one though. I like the fact that we got all these ones to choose from, but I kind of want to see one more in more detail.
I actually don't mind this. I get used to it. It feels like I can see them
not a pedophile, rapist, felon, draft dodger, wannabe king. You should get sued. In my day, people fought the weirdos in Berkeley. Yeah. Wow, you must be old, T-Sips.
Unless T-Sips is talking about the skirmish at Berkeley, Milo Yiannopoulos.
Oh, maybe that was it. Yeah,
Never forget.
Yeah.
Remember when Milo Yiannopoulos was cool? And then he said something about getting molested to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And that was it.
Yeah, he said he talked about. He may mention that most gay relationships are spring autumn in nature. That there's a certain amount of grooming going on in the gay community, where young gay men find mentorship in an older gay man.
Mm.
So he inferred that predation was inherent in the gay community.
Right.
Yeah, and I can understand why he got backlash for that. But now apparently he's trying to not be gay.
Just need to do the NAC protocol. Maybe even take a little mebendazole.
You
He'll
go.
be fine.
It's New Orleans. Why would I want to watch New Orleans? There's nothing going on in New Orleans except regular New Orleans stuff.
Okay, so that's the one you were on before, right? The AP?
Yeah, this is AXN news I'm on now. It might be recorded by AP. I don't know.
Well, because you can see from the AP's footage that there's other outlets there with their
Oh,
cameras.
so yeah, maybe this is some other independent dude called Los Angeles AXN News.
Of course, I don't know Los Angeles that well, so I can't tell if this is the same group of cops we were following before.
Yeah, I don't know either. I didn't see that string of lights above, but then again, the sun was still up, so maybe it was on a timer or something, or on a light sensor or something. It looks like a roughly nicer neighborhood, but could be wrong.
Well, because also I'm sure they're trying to square off sets of city blocks, right, and just be
Yeah,
like kettling the area.
yeah, exactly.
So they can't be too far from each other, right? So they're trying to establish a perimeter.
We're stuck on 5th and Broadway.
Oh, shit, please.
We're nowhere near the crowds. The crowd is way
It
over
was the
there.
Amazing Atheist. The Amazing Atheist shoved a banana up his ass live on
They
camera.
almost hit this dude on the corner right here.
If Milo being gay was a work all along, he's history's greatest troll. He's pretty damn good. If he's been faking it the entire time. There's an argument to be made that the gays are faking it anyway.
Where'd he go?
But they know their attraction to the
He
same
kept
sex
marching towards him.
is an aberration and is degenerate, but they want to do it
Give him a
anyway.
little warning
Not
shot.
because of
It didn't affect it. He went right back towards
any
him.
wiring, so to speak, but more along lines of some trauma has made them seek out the degenerate. So,
Did you see earlier when
No,
they
I think
hit
it's a
that
little
dude
bit
in
column A,
the-
column
You were
B.
there, right, when they hit that guy in the
Can you
nose?
turn the
Did you see that
volume
red
on this
ball?
down a bit? This
On his
is
stomach?
And
And the arm, yeah.
because these
Before
guys are
that, or
chatting
was it
to each
after the
other,
dude
and
with the
it's not useful.
I'll just turn it off for now.
There are some cases. Some people are convinced that it's entirely to do with parasites.
I've heard that too, and that sugar feeds the parasite, right?
Yeah. I mean, well, you can get into the whole cosmic death fungus conspiracy theory talk, but this is like, that, if a rat gets Toxoplasma gondii,
Yeah.
it will love cats
Yeah.
and will go after the cats, and it will be very brave, right? Well, if people get this, they'll also love cats, right? And they'll feed the cat and take it, right? So, parasites do alter behavior.
Sure.
And a desire to make sure that they can continue to pass on and if they live in a certain area of your body and the best way to pass is by contact with that area of the body, then they'll make the host want contact with that area of the body. If you can clear out the parasites, then maybe you stop wanting that.
There you go. There is the current science is that a mother has at her disposal during gestation a certain finite amount of testosterone. She doesn't naturally produce a lot of it, right?
Right.
She produces enough during pregnancy to provide a developing male fetus with enough testosterone to help them develop fully. But the more boys she has, the less she has to produce. She's less able to produce, or less efficiently she's able to produce. So this is the current. I guess the bioavailability of testosterone to pass on to a gestating fetus decreases with the number of boys a mother might have. So if a mother has 3 sons and then the 4th son has less testosterone for development, they may be more feminine, right? Which means that the proper the proper treatment for such a situation should be to give the boy some testosterone during his adolescence or even
I'm a bit skeptical of
pre-adolescence.
this whole line, though,
Why?
because
I'm not a
I don't.
biologist or an embryologist, embryo, whatever.
Sure, neither am I. But I'm a layperson with an interest, and I have some information that I think doesn't it it discounts that.
I may not be explaining it as well
No,
as it.
look.
Yeah.
I am not convinced that the amount of testosterone produced by the mother has any effect, because boys produce their own testosterone
Right.
and they get it from their fathers, not their mothers. It's in the Y gene,
No, I get it,
or
but
the Y
their
chromosome,
ability, but
right?
I guess the understanding is that their ability to create enough for proper production of the gonads and proper production of their male
Yeah,
traits.
no, here's what I mean. Here, let me explain this. It'll explain why the mother's levels are completely unnecessary to affect the outcome. Because on the Y chromosome is an SRY6 gene.
Okay.
And the SRY6 gene of the Y chromosome, its whole purpose is to deliver a shot of testosterone at the right point of gestation,
Mhm.
which will then turn all of the stuff that potentially could turn into female parts, will turn them all into male parts. And as soon as it does that, it turns them into parts that produce testosterone. So, like ovaries, instead of ovaries forming, testicles form, and the testicles produce testosterone, which is now doing the job. The mother's testosterone levels shouldn't really matter here.
Hmm.
And that's why
You know
there's
what,
only
I
six
might be,
kiddos.
but sorry. What I'm saying is then I might be wrong about the testosterone aspect of it.
Okay.
It might be some other uh, enzyme or precursor uh, material that she needs, and she has a finite amount of. It might even be estrogen. I don't know, because men need a little bit of estrogen in their development as well. They need some, right? So
Well, excess testosterone can convert into estrogen. That's why
yeah,
guys
like,
sometimes who take too much anabolic steroids develop tits.
and tiny balls.
Yeah. So
No wonder they want to ban ivermectin. Yeah, I've heard
So
that.
that's part of the conspiracy theory. That's actually cosmic death fungus conspiracy theory as well, if you go deep enough into it. But basically, if you gave the whole population access to ivermectin for weeks and months at a time, suddenly homosexuality would drop to almost zero, and people would be very upset. And further, yeah, like there's the cosmic death fungus theory. We don't have to get into that.
You know what though? Who I'd like to get into the cosmic death fungus theory
Hmm.
would be AJ on the Y files. You ever watch? I told you about the Y files before.
Yeah. I don't know. It's not
It's up
as
his alley in terms of the type of stuff he would cover.
sure, but I'm not. I'm not a big fan of the way the way they present this stuff.
You don't like the fish cracking jokes?
It's not even the fish cracking jokes. It's like they make up long dramatic stories for no reason that don't really contain more information. So it's an
No.
hour-long thing that could have been done in 12 minutes. And
Yeah, but that's his.
they're mostly negative towards the conspiracy theory, right? It's not like I mean, look, I'm mostly negative towards the conspiracy theory of aliens built the pyramids or whatever.
Right.
On the other hand, there is that one stone they moved like 10, 12 years ago, 700-ton stone. It was a year-long project to build a whole new trailer around the stone, and then it could only roll at 4 miles per hour because any faster and the trailer would start to shake apart.
Yeah.
So it was like, a 25-hour trip, 100 miles to move this one stone for an art piece. And it's like, okay, that makes me question everything that we claim to know about the pyramids now. Like
We
maybe
didn't
these
throw enough
aliens.
plays at it.
So that alone is a balances it out for me, and I can't really be negative to the aliens people because it might have been something. I don't know if it was aliens, but Y-Files is just really derogatory to the
I'm
believer.
more open to ideas like that now than I was probably 5 years ago, 10 years ago, because I've watched a lot of like Graham Hancock stuff. I've watched a lot of the Y-Files, and I realized that it's like this was the thing about being an atheist. I say was in the past tense because I'm drifting away from that mindset at this point. As an atheist, you seek to find the most scientifically viable or empirically sound definition or explanation for something.
Yep.
And once you have it, I can attest to this because this is and has been my mindset for the most part. Once you have it, you consign yourself saying, well, there it is then. I don't need to ever look again at anything else. I know the answer. So anybody who doesn't believe this particular answer is obviously a fool and just ignorant. So this is the mindset of the atheist. So, but as you get exposed to other points of view through people who believe different things than you, you start to go, okay, well, you know what? Maybe there are solid reasons for believing the counter that I just haven't been exposed to. So rather than me judging other people who don't hold this opinion as ignorant, I can come to terms with my own ignorance on other aspects of this particular subject. So.
But Y-Files is not like that.
No, the Y-Files has a specific, like, they have a gimmick, right? They tell, like you said, a compelling story about a specific thing that is like really weird and strange. And people who have been looking at this particular incident have a theory, and the theory is based on this. And the soundness of their theory makes sense because of this, and this. And of course, they always include in there, but their theory was largely dismissed by scientists. And then they go, but it's compelling, blah, 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 blah. And then at the end of this, okay, so here's why it may not be true. And then they kind of deflate your entire, experience of the thing.
Well, because also they don't go, here's why it might not be true. They go, here's why it's all bullshit and you're stupid for believing it.
No, they don't do it quite like that.
They're pretty blatant.
No, they're not. They don't do it quite like that. Especially, and also certain things like AJ's come out and said, I actually, he says, but is it true? And then he'll talk about, all the counter arguments for it. But he says, but to be honest, I believe the actual theory more than I believe the dismissal of it. And he'll get into the reason why he believes it more. It's not very often that that's the case because a lot of his stuff is very pedestrian. But when you start talking about like psychic abilities and not necessarily remote viewing, but start talking about things that are a little bit harder to prove one way or the other, he tends to lean towards it. But things like the moon landing was fake, that's such bullshit that I'm kind of, it irritates me that people still entertain it. Oh man, it's a pretty boring riot. It's supposed to be
change the channel.
Protest. It's boring. It's like 150K for one day of 1,000 people manual labor to even try a pyramid. It's easy if labor is free. True.
That's still not easy.
Well, it's easy if you don't mind you don't care about the well-being of your slaves.
Well, no, look, there was 700-ton stone, okay, and all of that with our modern tech went into moving this. Yeah. In the three big Giza pyramids, there are many stones that are 2,000 tons. Like, it's insane. It's insane.
No, I understand, but you know what? There, a lot of times, there was a lot of people say, well, how could they move it? They didn't have like engineering. They didn't have like modern engineering tools and stuff. And people say, well, they rolled them on logs. Oh, well, the logs wouldn't be able to support the weight. You'd need so many logs, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw a documentary about a guy who had basically, it was like a what do you call it? An arc of a circle. So just a little small portion of a circle, right? Made out of wood. And he said you could, if you had one of these that was, you know, the right size, you could put 4 of them on a square block and turn it into a something that rolls, just on 4 sides, right? And he said, so this is how they likely did it. And then when you look at hieroglyphics, they have that symbol all over the fucking place. It looks like a bowl, right? It looks like an arc, like it looks like basically a bowl, but basically you put 4 bowls on the outside of a square stone, you turn it into a cylinder, and you can move it. So anyway,
Yeah, and you do that with a 2,000-ton stone.
yeah.
That's
You do it
basically
with
a flat floor tile. You can turn that flat floor tile into a cylinder and then roll it under control. It's fine. Yeah.
That's the idea. You put enough people on it turn it into a wheel, and you roll it. Yeah, that's the hypothesis that's been put forward.
That's a hypothesis.
Yeah, they didn't leave detailed instructions on how they did it. The Forgotten Stone at Baalbek was 1,650 tons.
Yeah.
Same goes for Göbekli Tepe or whatever the fuck they call it. Those things are massive, and they're buried in the ground. And they didn't get buried there. They didn't get buried there by regular soil erosion or anything. They were physically buried by people. They have automated mining robots that deliver 50,000 pounds of rocks all day. No, I think you need sonic resonance frequency to move stones that big. I think you need to play horns at a specific frequency. You need to get enough of them to get them to levitate. That's what I think happens.
Theoretically, that works. That's really funny. Is I have seen them absolutely levitate small objects
with sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even living things.
Yeah.
All right. Spider. It's a spider.
You ever do this when you were like in high school or you're a teenager, where like you have like a friend, right? And he's sitting on a chair, and you put the 4 of you around him, and you put your hands on his head, and you press down as hard as you can for 30 seconds, right? And you do, or 30 seconds or 60 seconds, and then the 4 of you go and you put your just 2 fingers under each armpit and 2 fingers under each knee, and lifting them is like lifting a fucking pillow. It's like they're super light. They're dead easy to lift. You ever do that?
I never did that one specifically, but I have played light as a feather, stiff as a board.
Yeah.
Same idea.
Or when you stand in a door. You ever stand in a doorway and push your arms out into the door jam?
This one I know.
You step away and your arms just fucking float. You're doing that yourself. No, I am not doing it myself.
No, it's your muscles
phenomena that the body basically unleashes stored pressure into it.
It's interesting. It's no
cosmic. Now, that being said, I've not looked into why it happens. I'm sure there might be a completely, what do you call it, mundane reason, but I've never understood why it happens.
Thing is, did you ever try to lift your friend before you did the pushing down thing?
Well, the test is that you try and lift your friend, and you can. 4 friends can lift up 1 friend, but they're noticeably heavy. They're not impossible to lift. But then once you do this pressure thing on the person's head, lifting them just seems that much more easy. Now, maybe you've put a lot of energy into that muscle contraction of holding down on their head, because you're all putting force into your muscles. And then when you go and use your muscles next, boom, they're already sort of, what do you call it, warmed up, so to speak. Maybe that has problems. Bright Insight videos are interesting.
Yeah. Bright Insight is the man.
Is it?
Yeah, he's great. Bright Insight is his channel name. Jimmy Corsetti, that's who he is. Now, he was actually his interest in all the ancient Egypt, ancient civilization stuff, like Graham Hancock style, started because he was actually in the army in Iraq.
No shit.
Yeah, and as like certain forces were coming up, they were destroying a lot of the old Zoroastrian temples and statues and all of their imagery, right? Like they had the power, right? And they were just getting rid of it.
Yeah.
Like these statues of I don't even know the word for them, but they're like part horse with wings and a man's head and shit. They've
I
been there for 1500 plus years.
think they're called a lamasu.
That sounds right. And they
Yeah.
just destroyed them. Right? So it's like, well, if the Egyptians were around 4,000 years ago, then, that's a lot of time to destroy all the old imagery, monuments, everything,
Sure.
right? So people are all mad that the British colonized the world and took all those antiquities to be stored in their museums, and it's like they're doing you a favor, guys, like serious.
Well,
Apparently, if you leave it there, the locals will fucking rise up and destroy it. So,
not only that, when you think of what Genghis Khan did when he conquered places. Now, my understanding is he had to he actually liked making himself a nice collection of artifacts from places he conquered, but like those people, those groups of people, because they were a lot more balkanized in those days, they were just genocided. There's people we probably don't even know exist
yeah.
because of Genghis Khan. I saw a video recently about how Genghis Khan was so prolific in his wholesale conquest of Europe and Asia that he killed 40 million people in that time. And it was so what do you call it? It was so devastating on the environment that it actually caused a mini ice age.
Yeah.
Because
See, the
yeah,
thing with the Mongols, they were nomadic people,
yeah,
right? They didn't need to conquer your population. They
no,
just needed your land.
yeah,
They
because
just
they
needed
wanted
to graze their horses.
yep, make more Mongol babies and build more fucking yurts, and that was it. Yeah, yeah, they were. Yeah, that's true. All the graffiti here. Fuck ice. Boring.
Yeah, find another stream. Go back to that multi-stream that gave us our best, and then once something pops off, we'll see if we can find the original.
Let's see what I can find. Let's see what the AP was like. Let's see what they're doing right now. They got an overhead shot. Looks like people are dispersing, quite frankly.
Well, you're not actually sharing that one? There we go.
Oh, they might be marching. They are marching in the street. They're probably going to try and block the streets off. Okay, I got rid of that sound. That sounds fucking brutal. AP, you can send super chats to AP. Who the fuck would give AP money? Yeah, they're marching down the middle of this street. They're not blocking traffic so much as they are just slowing it up. It looks like it's a dispersal. It doesn't look like doesn't look like people are congregating. That's a small group of people comparatively.
Mm.
Now there's some cops down here holding the line, but I don't see where the people are. Good job, helicopter guy. Yeah, go to the place where you can't see the fucking protesters. Are they standing there in anticipation of that small group that was coming from the other direction?
Oh, I mean, they've been at it for a while now. Maybe they did manage to cut some of them off, put them into smaller groups.
Yeah, maybe. But it looks like that small group is like 20 blocks away. Oh no, here we go. There's something a little bit more here. Yeah, they're blocking traffic. And a lot of the traffic seems to be in support of them too. So
It's just some people having fun watching cars burn.
that's right. It's mostly peaceful. Yeah, you got to be careful if you send in the cops, because right now it's just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn. But if the cops come in, it could make it a little bit more volatile. Are you fucking hearing yourself?
Yeah, they're terrible.
Bright inside videos are interesting. Okay, yeah, and then the adaptation of the stirrups for horseback riding is what gave the Mongols the advantage. Yeah, I've heard that stirrups were a major influence in how war progressed. Just like so they could fire bows from horseback while riding. Yeah, they were great
Strangely,
horse archers.
I don't know if they actually invented the stirrup or if they discovered it, but they were firing bows from horseback anyway. They just could fire them way more accurately now.
Right.
And they also had the compound bow.
Yeah.
I think that was their invention, right?
The recurve bow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That instead of just one long curve, you could shorten it to almost half the length and
Get more power out of it because of the multiple bends in it. Yeah.
Yeah, but being shorter, it was much easier to transport and fire on horseback, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's true. Gotta love them Mongols. Hold on a sec here. Forgot. I'm gonna expand this. Turn up a little bit of the volume. Maybe we'll hear something actually happening.
No,
nope.
just that radio.
Good job there, Sky Map 7. Viva Mexico! Fuck. It's at the West Civic Center Drive and North Ross. Civic Center Drive West, downtown. I like how it's telling you where it is right now. But see, okay, so look where they are, and then the cops are like way the hell down the other way. Or is there another group that's like going to come from a back end? This is just like a bunch of people congregating. Maybe this is their deployment zone. Maybe this is where the protesters are deploying from. And they got people coordinating. Okay, you go down West Philadelphia Street, or you go down Martin Luther King Boulevard.
Now that we received the location of the police from the mayor, we know how to avoid them.
Or get behind them and terrorize them.
Oh, they also had silk body armor that could stop arrows to a point, said 6. Yeah, so strangely, I can't remember the name of the show, but they used to test weapons and armor of history, and linen armor does a really good job.
It's true. Most people in medieval times, their armor was gambesons. That's it. Gambesons and shirts, like heavy shirts.
But a lot of it, right? Like if you put linen, thin layers of linen in many layers, it does a great job of stopping cuts.
Right. So if you were like if you were someone who might get into a fight and you were merchant class or lower sort of peon class or higher peon class, you might have like a puppy gambeson, right? So if you're a guard for like a caravan or whatever, if you're like a full-time professional fighter for like the city guard or whatever, you might have a brigandine, which was like a gambeson with like metal in it, right? It had like rivets and shit on it.
So those weren't just for looking gay.
Yeah, they weren't just for looking gay. There's a shirt, it was called something. And it was much lighter, but it was also still provided a little bit of protection because the way it was sewn, you know? You get that skateboarder, man. That lone fucking dude holding the sign. Good job, AP. Or are they following cop cars down? Is that what they're doing? They're following. Oh no.
Well, here they're marching in the dark though. It's hard. The street lamps aren't doing a good job here.
Yeah. Some people are on motorcycles.
Mm.
There's the cops. They're going to tell them to turn right.
Turn right or die.
Oh, turn left. No, they wanted to turn left. Sorry, my mistake. Because they've made like a little semicircle the other ways. Think they're going to turn? You think they're going to rush them?
I don't know.
There's not enough people in front to rush them. Yeah, they're going to turn.
That line is thin though.
Yeah, it's pretty thin at the front. Yeah. Live ended. Hey. Oh well. I like the circles. What do you think?
Meh. Take them
Yeah,
or leave them.
You change that.
Old war is terrifying. Go stand in the field while they shoot arrows at you.
There you go. Sorry, we ran out of spears. You got a pitchfork back in your barn, right? Go get it.
The Macedonians had the best handle for that. Right, their pike phalanx was different than other phalanxes. Much smaller shields, and it was their spears that were enormous. It's a pike; it's like 20 feet long, right?
Yeah.
But they'd also be not just a broad formation; they would be 16 deep. Right. So the first 5 rows are all putting their spears straight forward. So it's this wall of spears telescoping backwards, right?
Yeah.
And everyone behind, I think, for about another 5 ranks, they're holding their spears forward, but slightly higher than the rank in front of them.
Yeah.
And then the however many remaining, probably I think 6 in the back, they're all holding their spears straight up and touching the ground. So you fire a volley of arrows into that, it's almost guaranteed to hit one of them. And an arrow does not do well with contact with anything. It starts to wobble. And once it wobbles, it's not piercing.
Right.
So this formation could turn almost every single killing blow into injury, and every single injury into a glancing blow, and every single glancing blow into a miss. Like you're getting hit with a shaft and a feather and going, okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was great.
That's very interesting. That makes sense, though. Yeah, because I mean, you think if it gets clipped by one of these 20-foot long spears as it's coming down, not only does it wobble, but it loses some of its momentum.
Yeah, and it just rattles between all of these this fence of spears sticking up in the air, right?
Yeah. What were the things that the Romans used to use? They were like a javelin. They had a specific name for it. They had like a javelin, but it was like basically one piece of wrought iron. And it had like a point. Normally, it was like a wedge type point, and then it was stuffed into like a wooden shaft. And the idea was once they threw it, if they didn't hit, it would hit the ground and it would bend, so it would be useless for anybody who picked it up.
Oh, that's a pretty interesting.
Yeah, what was it called?
They can't use it against you once you've tossed it, right?
Yeah. Right, and not only that, because if it gets stuck in the ground, it also becomes a bit of a barrier for an advancing army. Like they've got to navigate through that shit because it's like half pointing up, and it's not like you're just running over loose ground. Somebody knows what it was fucking called. I can't remember.
I think I might know a term that's Greek. Is it a peltast, or is that the guy who throws it? And I can't remember what they're called.
Oh shit!
But yeah, like inside your shield, you have 2 spears for chucking, and then when the distance is closed, you draw your sword. Yeah,
exactly. Let me ask. I'm gonna go to pie.
Is she still stoned?
To pie?
Yeah, and every time, like every once in a while, mid sentence, she'll pull that shit.
It's when she's got it's when she's got to deal with punctuation in the middle of a sentence. So if there's like a semicolon in what she's written,
She
she'll go
doesn't know how to-
yeah.
You've got to read this sentence from T-Sips here. This is beautiful. Like, this is art.
1 sec. Non-retrievers need to make a comeback.
That's fantastic.
Very
Like,
good. That's good.
it's perfect. See, even that, the old war in the streets, like just like shields and batons clashing against the Mexican hordes. That would have been fine. I would have accepted that. But no. It's had to be the stupidest riot of all time. I guess maybe once the Soros was called before Congress, they were like, maybe we ought to tone it down for a little while. Let the heat die off. Israel, go attack Iran. You just type into pi.
Yeah.
I've seen you type. This is going to take forever.
Shut up.
About 30% of your keystrokes are backspace.
No, they're not.
Pillum. Thank you. That's
it.
6 is faster than you.
6 is faster than me. You're right. The Pilum, yes. That was the
Fastest gun in the
Roman
West.
weapon. It was very smart how they used it. Well, we just throw this regular spear, they're just going to pick it up and throw it right back at us, and we don't want that. It'd just be trading spears with one another. This is better. Gotta hand it to them Romans. Lovely Romans, beautiful race of people. Have you
What's
seen
that?
that? That's from
No.
Life of Brian.
He's a Life of Brown. Okay.
Yeah, it's a guy being held in the prison by the Romans in the dungeon. He's just fucking in love with them. It's like, these great people. Oh, they're so good. And Brian's in there, and he's like, he just spat at me. He's like, oh, I dream of getting spat at. Yeah. He gets like pushed into the ground. He's like, oh, jailer's pet.
Jailer's Pet. There was a show called Plebs.
Called what?
Plebs.
Yeah.
British show. It ran like, I don't know, 8 episodes or whatever the heck Brits do. And I thought it was really funny, but there's one episode where, yeah, they're living in ancient Rome and they're plebs doing pleb jobs, right? So it's like The Office, ancient Rome, right? But at some point, the neighborhood they live in is being overrun by people from Thrace, right?
Okay.
They keep coming from Thrace, and they're Thracians are kind of barbarians compared to the Romans at the time. And they're behaving badly and getting drunk in the street, getting into brawls. It's like, man, these Thracians, they're really like getting. And someone goes, "You're a Thracist."
That's funny. I got the same view, but this is ABC 7. Expanded here. Commentary? No sound at all. It's all right.
No, if it's just their chopper view. So wait, I don't get it. Are those cop cars trying to herd them?
I don't know. It's in Orange County.
They were just
Santa
really
Ana.
on top of this. Hey, maybe the LA cops were really on top of it for once,
Yeah,
right?
who knows? I expected much more fireworks. Hey, you know what? Let's look at what's going on with the Jews.
I was gonna say put on the multi-screen one. That's
If I can find it, I will.
I find those ones have literally the most information, but also I can follow them. That was just regular traffic. So even with all these multiple shots, nothing cool is happening. Okay, so this gives me a better idea that nothing cool is happening.
Yeah, there's people still protesting. There's people walking around. It looks
That's
like
that
some of
same
it,
person in
it's
yellow.
old footage, though. Like, because that's still daytime. Some of it's same footage.
And that's that same person in yellow.
Yeah.
The one that we didn't know. Are you a boy or a girl?
Yeah, that's right. What do you identify as?
So they're rerunning some of these.
Looks
They're
like
not
it,
all
yeah.
live.
Looks like it. Let me see if I can find another one.
Honestly, though, this is a good thing if this is how it's actually being handled, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
there's a cop
'cause-
car view.
oh, that's
I think it's a
interesting.
cop car view. No, it's not.
Or is it just a douchebag?
It's like
It's just
some guy in a taxi or an Uber.
Well, something's going on. Why don't we see that? Come on, guys.
Drop me off right there at that Denny's. That's like perfect.
That's where I'm going.
Perfect.
What about you? Are you good at Denny's or you want to go somewhere else?
You just drop me off
All
over
these
here.
cops going that way? Nah, take me to that Denny.
Chevron.
That's
They were
perfect.
at Denny.
Expensive Chevron.
You got it.
What is that? The one that's like $7?
Yeah, it's like $7.89, but
I was there the other night when that van was doing donuts trying to run us over, dude.
yeah, I was there
He
too.
was there.
Everyone was saying he's got a gun. He's got a gun.
Yeah, and they
Dude,
said
shots
he
fired. I
And then
ducked.
came back when I was letting you know he was coming back. He
Yeah.
was coming back to where you were because you were 1 block away, oblivious that he was coming right back.
Oh no, I heard that when they were like, he's coming back. I fucking took cover behind some giant planters.
I was watching him on the news choppers. They were following him around. And then
Yeah, but
he
what are
took
you
off down
guys
the road
doing
backwards.
now? Come on.
Are you guys both still live?
Yeah,
I'm live right now, yeah. I can mute it though.
No. I'm just curious. You guys been killing it, man. Congrats.
Appreciate it.
Ride
you
that
guys-
wave, dude.
Been killing it, man.
They talk like pro rioters. So
Okay, here's something a little bit more.
oh yeah, okay. Now they fully stopped up all traffic, eh?
Yeah. Dancing in the streets.
Oh, this is where we just might see like some car panic,
Plow
some
through.
driver panic and drive through.
I hope not, but you never know.
So yeah, here's the other question: have they all been kettled to here, and are they actually surrounded a little, a block away on every side by cops? Are they kettled into here?
Don't know. The helicopter could tell us that if they packed up a bit, you know?
Oh, good night, 6. Take it easy.
Yeah, thanks, 6. Thanks for coming out. I put the chat on in the window here, so people make comments. We'll be able to see them. Oh,
Yeah, this is
oh, and now it's done.
what? Why are they doing that? These bastards.
I don't know. Stupid. This is fucking stupid. What else can we watch? News of the Zoo's on right now.
Oh yeah.
So is the Adonis Paul show, Late Night with Adonis Paul. Oh, Penguin Zero is playing something.
But no riots, no protests. Oh,
Well,
that's a multicast.
It's called the Wolf Cast. We can take a look at that one.
She has two of them.
Somebody was listening yesterday when I was talking about the bubbles and the bubble gun and how much they save.
Let me turn the crackhead down there. Number 3.
I don't want to take another guy's podcast. This ain't bad.
Yeah, like the live footage is nice to have. See, all these cops are. Las Vegas Boulevard and Bridger. That's in Las Vegas. Okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna have protests in Las Vegas.
There are protests today all over the United States. It's called No King's Day.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't think a place like Vegas would actually be bothered.
Wow, this is live. Yeah, we're live. We're live. You're live here. The Ammunation live stream. Buddha, welcome to the channel. I'm not familiar with you. I'm glad you've popped in. Feel free to share your thoughts while we watch these 4 streams on what is the boringest revolution I've ever seen, quite frankly.
Yeah, no, it really is.
Today was supposed to be the day that shit popped off and went nuts. Watch, it's 12 o'clock now. We're probably gonna call the stream point soon.
Okay, so here on the top left, this is that group in LA, I think.
Oh yeah? Oh, so someone's embedded there, yeah. Looks like it. Yeah, you're right, yeah. Waving that Mexican flag. American distress. Fuck Donald Trump. Oh, he's got a mask up. Yeah,
I love that. I love that one. I love that comic. Right, the guy waving his Mexican flag. Viva Mexico! Mexico is the best. The USA is terrible. And then ICE comes and take him away. No, please don't deport me to Mexico. My life is ruined.
That's it.
Oh.
Pathetic.
Yeah.
There are some people with masks up, though, so we might see some black bloc activity. That might be interesting. What does it say? Hate will what? Hate will make me sad? I don't know.
May as well just say that.
Cops down in Las Vegas, cops standing on the ground. What the fuck are we doing, man? We got all these cars here. We're just standing here. Nothing's going on.
Overtime is overtime.
That's right. It's true.
Enjoy it, boys. Enjoy it.
Denver's like boring as all hell. Some guy in a clown mask just walking down the street.
Yeah, I don't know what he's up to.
I was saying, watch when we close the stream out. That's when all the bad shit's gonna start.
Yeah,
happening.
that's exactly when it'll pop off.
You're gonna wake up in the morning and go, fucking half of LA burned down and half of Denver, Colorado did too. Like shit, we were watching a stream of both those places.
Yeah. And there was an explosion in LA. Or in Las Vegas. Where all these cops were seated on the corner.
Could you imagine? He's flipping the bird. That guy in Denver's flipping the bird at the cops. Such a fucking rebel. Such a rebel.
Whoa. Tone it down, guys.
Yeah, really.
You don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. There was a shooting in Salt Lake City an hour or two ago.
Was it really?
Yeah. But nobody in Utah has internet, so we couldn't have live streamed. Don't you just love making up stereotypes?
Yeah. It's like people bugging me about, you went to Newfoundland, more than like 12 people there? I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's like 17.
It's not very heavily populated, but it's St. John's is pretty damn busy.
Yeah. Well, it's a city, It's how they work.
Let's see what's going on over in Tel Aviv. That looks like a dirty city. Looks really polluted.
Well, there's probably also some smoke in the air from the, bombs that have gone off.
Yeah. Apparently Tel Aviv is the gayest city in the Middle
Yeah.
East.
Also the pedophilist?
Probably.
Oh, wait, in the Middle East? No.
Oh, no, you're right. They're full of pedophiles.
Yeah. But it's like, apparently if a Jewish person is accused or convicted of pedophilia, they can just flee to Israel and they won't extradite them.
Get out of here. So why is Hillary Clinton still in the United States?
She's not Jewish.
But don't so many Congress people have dual citizenship with Israel?
Like 49%.
That's crazy. How do they get that? They're not all Jews. Do they
The
marry
49% who have their citizenship are, yeah.
Really?
I think so.
Half of Congress is Jewish?
And the other half have like Jewish chiefs of staff.
Wow. It's crazy.
So they tell me.
It's a cloud of concentrated evil like in cartoons. Yep, you may be right there, T-Sips.
Well, I mean, missiles that struck or were taken out by the Iron Dome would still, leave clouds, thick layers of smoke in the air for a while, right?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like one missile. I'm sure they fired many, many missiles.
No. When you think when I think concentrated evil,
I think the Smoggies.
What's that?
I think the Smoggies.
The Smoggies. There you go. Cloud of concentrated evil. No, what I was thinking of was remember that scene from that footage of the Jew climbing out of the sewer grate?
Yes.
I'm like, that is like crystallizes the image of, I don't know if evil's the strongest word, but conniving. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like it's like a distilled down to one little 3 or 4 second clip. That the very concept of conniving is distilled down to that. So much so that if some aliens were coming down, they were trying to learn our language, and you had to try and illustrate with them the concept of conniving, you could show that picture, that little bit of footage, and they go, I get it. How do I get in the gambling on the Tel Aviv live stream Iran attack timing? Oh, I don't know. Is that what's showing up in the... Oh, no, that's our scout. That's our chat.
Yeah, they'll check the books. Like, they'll gamble anything.
Yeah, it's true. Polymarket probably has...
They'll take your bet.
Yeah, Polymarket is probably taking bets on what do you call it? How many casualties? What time the next drone strike from Iran is coming in? How many days or whatever until U.S. troops are committed to going into the area and invading Iran? Who knows? Gonna check on X and see what our viewer count is like.
And T-Sips, if there is no book for it, start the book.
Good call.
Yeah, this
These
is even
tips. Where are you messaging from? Are you Canadian? Or are you in the United States? Or what's the dealio? Are you
Israel.
familiar with T-Tips?
No, but the best response to that question is Israel. Just one word in the chat. That'd be amazing.
That'd be funny. I think about 40% of my viewers are from the United States.
I thought you were going to say Israel.
No, I don't know how many people from Israel watch this. I do a pretty good Yiddish accent, so they might kick in. They might go, "Hey, who's doing the Yiddish accent? Hey, that guy's he's a good goyim. He can do a good Yiddish accent. He's a good goyim." It's still some Jew joke.
This is even more boring than the riots.
I know.
It's not
nice
riots.
It's nice to look at. Looks like there's going to be some rain coming in. Let's see here. That's the same old footage. I'll go back to here. Yeah, Denver guy. Why don't you turn your camera sideways, you fucking twat?
I know. Because they're trying to run two cameras there. You look, it's actually...
Yeah, he's got a head cam and he's got like probably he's holding a phone or whatever. I don't know. What's a Jewish American princess's favorite wine?
Couldn't tell you.
I want to go to Miami.
Oh, I can only think of the most basic childish Jew joke right now.
What's that?
Why do Jews have such big noses?
I don't know why.
Because air is free.
Excuse me. That's funny. I've heard that one before too, though. T-Sips is in the U.S. That's great, T-Sips. Like I said, welcome. Muda, if you're still around, maybe you ducked out. Where are you at? I know 6 is in Texas. But 6 is ducked out. He's gone to bed. I should probably go to bed too, because taking Dad out for breakfast tomorrow. It's Father's Day tomorrow. Taking him out for breakfast bright and early at 8 o'clock.
Oh, that's right. It's Father's Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we're over 2 hours now. I could eat on stream if I wanted, right?
Yeah, knock stuff out. I'm probably going to end it soon, quite frankly. But yeah, you want to eat something? Go for it. What are you going to eat?
Sandwiches.
Sandwiches. Pre-made sandwiches? Or
yes. Yes, there was a party earlier, and there's always more than enough food. So I've got all of this food stuffed into these containers. And, well, there's some crab salad sandwiches sitting in my fridge. Ooh. Yeah. Plus some lox and bagels. I can't deny it.
Is it some lox and bagels, you said?
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. So the crab salad sandwiches, let me picture it. Is it legit crab or is it pollock?
Whatever the fake crab in a can is.
That's pollock then, yeah.
Sure.
Which I love, by the way.
It's cheap, so
I really do like it though. I like the flavor of it. Like, I don't like legit crab because I find legit crab tastes fishy. Pollock is so mild, such good flavor.
Oh my god, T-Sips is. Oh,
I've watched before on my band names Uncle Jeezy and G Money in the Bank.
It's Uncle Jeezy,
not by you. Hey, Jeezy. Oh, okay, cool.
G Money. Still G Money on Twitter, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I see all the good mornings. G Money was like G Money. Good morning. He's on this good morning tip. It's like somehow in touch with his roots of the G Money in the Bank.
There's a couple of X channels or X accounts, I should say, that routinely put up Pepe the Frog saying GM friend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. G Money is among them.
Then there you go. GM friend.
Yeah.
I miss Pepe.
He's out there.
All he wants to do is go back to Kekistan.
Still not seeing any real movement. They're just
farm memes. Be just a humble meme farmer out in Kekistan. But Normie Stan and
Cuckistan
are always getting in the way. Oh well. All right, let me see.
Yeah, they're trying to rebrand like the convoy, right? I think that's what's happening. They just received new marching orders. This whole thing was a ruse.
Yeah.
Oh, look? See top left. Someone's in restraints.
Oh yeah, somebody must have fucked around and found out.
Yeah, see, I can follow this. I don't know.
Yeah. I notice how all the protesters are old fucking white women. And like in the top middle, I'm not talking about the people out on the street throwing shit, getting arrested and waving flags. I'm talking about the No Kings crowd.
Mm-hmm.
It's all older white women. Full rights for all immigrants. Stop deportations. No. Pepe's out there telling you good morning every day. GM friend. Yeah.
No, I mean, if anyone can just go to that country, that country stops existing.
Exactly. Well, and that is the plan behind this mass migration strategy by the World Economic Forum and by all the globalists. Nations need to stop existing. The only culture is consumer culture, and the only loyalty you should be having is to the brand. You fight over PlayStation and Xbox. Don't fight over your religious beliefs. Don't fight over the color of your skin.
Jesus, man. The more you talk about it, the more it's like, oh my God, and you had brought it up. Yeah. Not just atheists. Yeah. Reddit atheists. That's what the WAF is. Just
they're Reddit atheists. That's
right. Reddit atheists. And everybody else has to be a Reddit atheist.
That's right. The worst type of atheist is a Reddit atheist.
In this moment, I am euphoric atheists. Yeah, could be. Just rebranding, trying to rebrand their whole... No, it's all been peaceful the whole time. We're just dancing.
Yeah.
Dancing here on the street with Mexican flags.
Could be, yeah. They're just trying to accumulate footage of them being decent protesters, right?
Yeah.
Maybe the fires are, they're not going to happen anymore. Probably because the National Guard are there.
Mm.
The National Guard will be deployed and their asses will get kicked. Right now, they're there for the purposes of protecting ICE. So when ICE actually goes out and does operations and there's a crowd forming, or, the crowd gets wind of it somehow because, people in government try to undermine ICE and want to cause shit, then the National Guard are there because they're going to protect them. Oh, and they were talking about how the Marines were deployed.
Yeah.
California. They weren't actually deployed to California. They were in California. Doing training. And they used like the stadium to do some training for riot purposes, for group handling purposes. I mean, they didn't get deployed. They were sent. Maybe they were sent there for the purposes of helping out the National Guard if they need to. But basically, they were learning. What do you call it?
Tactics.
Yeah. In case it escalates to that. Oh well.
Well, no, I'm sure tomorrow we'll wake up to real news.
Yes. Nothing fabricated. Everything will be totally legit. And it'll be about how this put a real damper on Donald Trump's celebration of his birthday.
Yeah.
And
Sure.
and his military parade was viewed by most people as not good, and that'll be the narrative. Donald Trump has a failure on his birthday. That's what they're gonna try and do.
Keep in mind too, like it's 12:20 in our time zone, so it's just after 9 in LA.
Yeah, they're about
Lots of time. Lots of time.
True. I can't stay up that late though.
No. Gonna eat fake crab and go to bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and maybe I'll have we got these breakfast burritos in the fridge. I might try to have one of those.
Nice.
I could eat something more. Melina made a delicious dinner with baby potatoes and asparagus done in the air fryer, and then we had fried chicken breast, breaded big chicken breast, like a chicken cutlet.
Nice.
It was just so good. She's a damn good cook.
I love asparagus too.
Yeah, makes your
My
pee stink.
favorite.
Makes your pee stink, but it's good stuff, and it's actually really good for you too. It's got a
Yes.
lot of stuff in it.
Yeah, I don't know about superfood, but like a power food for sure.
Yeah, it's very nutrient dense considering it's a stick of mostly water.
Yeah.
Unlike celery, which is also a stick of mostly water, but doesn't have a ton of nutrients in it.
Yeah. Just the water.
Yeah. But celery with peanut butter on it is damn good. Anyway, folks, I think I'm going to call it here. We're past 12 o'clock now. We normally only run this stream for about 2 hours, so I think we're going to end it. You got anything else you want to share one more time there, Mr. Twin?
Let me check my notes. I made notes. Oh. Never gonna. Yeah, no. It's way too much to talk about. I love that. I'll just re-mention the Florida sheriff again. Like, just fantastic. And you notice none of the live streams were from anywhere in Florida.
Oh, no.
There's just no point. That sheriff came out and said that, and Florida man was like, yeah, no, he's not kidding, and stayed home.
Yeah, no. There's too much meth to do. Why would I go out and protest? Right? The people who are inclined to do criminal shit, they're like, fuck that. You know what? I'm just going to sit in here and do meth. I don't care that George Soros already gave me money. I'm just going to fucking go and smoke meth.
You know the joke, though, about, like, Florida man is just one guy that, like, he is the Florida man, and he's just a super villain that runs around doing all this stuff. Well, yeah, but the hero is Florida sheriff. And he don't take no shit.
Have you tried the internet game where you go into Google and you type Florida man and then your birthday?
I have not. I'll do that at some point. Yeah.
Yeah. So you'll find a story that is like absolutely outrageous. I've done mine. Before we go, let me do this.
Okay.
I'm going to Google Florida man and then my birthday.
Including the year?
I don't think you have to do the year.
If you did the year, though, and you found something
from all the way back to when I was born?
Yeah. That's like Florida man.
Yeah, here we go.
All the way back.
Here we go. July, my birthday, 2018. Florida man with no arms charged with stabbing. Charged with stabbing Chicago tourist. Let's go back to 2018 on my birthday.
Okay, now without reading the article, do you think it was knife held by mouth or knife held by foot?
I'm going to go with foot. But let's see. I'll read it. Miami, Florida. Homeless Florida man with no arms has been charged with stabbing a Chicago tourist. Miami Beach police say 46-year-old Jonathan Crenshaw held a pair of scissors with his feet. Oh, okay, there we go. It stabbed 22-year-old Cesar Coronado just after midnight Tuesday, the Miami Herald reports. That Crenshaw is a popular fixture in the area, known for painting on canvases along a trendy spot in South Beach. Oh, no. According to the arrest report, Crenshaw says he was lying down when Coronado approached him and kicked him in the head. Police say Crenshaw stabbed Coronado twice and fled the scene. A friend who was traveling with Coronado said they asked Crenshaw for directions when he suddenly jumped up and stabbed Coronado in his arm. He was taken to the hospital. Crenshaw has been charged with aggravated battery. Not assault with a deadly weapon?
The man with no arms who was laying down jumped up, grabbed scissors with one foot, and stabbed a guy in the arm.
Yeah. I bet he had practiced that. I'm going to call sus on one aspect of this story. Coronado, according to a friend who was traveling with Coronado said they asked Crenshaw for directions when he suddenly jumped up and stabbed Coronado in his arm. You see a homeless man lying down. That's the guy you're going to ask for directions? It was, what time was it at night?
That is weird. That is weird.
It had a time of night. Midnight. Just after midnight. Well, let's see where this is.
Maybe there was nobody else around. Just one homeless guy. It's possible.
It doesn't say where it was. It's just Miami Beach. It doesn't say or Miami. It was in Miami. I'm going to guess the guy was on the beach because the dude was known for making for painting on canvases along a trendy spot in South Beach. So if he's homeless, my guess is he stays in South Beach area. So
yeah,
it's probably
too far, I guess.
So South Beach at midnight, how busy is it? Is there a lot of fucking people walking around at the restaurants and shit and clubs? Who knows? It just seems kind of weird that a guy will walk up to a homeless guy and say, "Hey, dude, do you know how to get to whatever?" Since 2018, it was in 2018. I wouldn't do that at midnight. I'm likely to get stabbed in the arm by a pair of scissors. Anyway, folks, I think we're going to call it there. It's been a great time having you here for the Ammunation podcast. Or Ammunation podcast. Ammunation live stream. I should podcast this. Could you imagine?
Isn't that the same thing?
Yeah, except I think it finds itself in a different sort of media scape.
Meh.
You'd find it on Spotify. I wonder if I could upload these to Spotify.
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Anyway, folks, we're going to call it there. I appreciate you coming out next week. If inshallah, we'll be on Irving Twins channel. Casual Islam.
Casual AF, yeah.
Casual AF is the casual anti-Semitism. No, casual Islamophobia on my part. Casual AF is the name of his live stream every other Saturday night. Typically, we swap. So I was supposed to do one last week, but I didn't because I was back from vacation and still kind of recovering and sick. And so we did it this weekend, which means the next one we do will be Irving Twins. It's kind of how it works, right? It's not like a steady schedule. It's supposed to be every Saturday, but it ends up being not so frequent.
Most Saturdays. There you go.
Most Saturdays. So the next one you see, though, will be Casual AF over on Irving Twins channel, and you can check it all out there. Anyway, folks, have yourselves a great rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. If you are a daddy, enjoy Father's Day. That's tomorrow. Happy Father's Day.
And happy Father's Day, people.
And if you're a mommy, treat your daddy right and leave him alone. Don't fucking bother him. Anyway, folks, that's going to do us for here on the Ammunation live stream. Stick around for the outro because it's worth it.
Hail